Never forget that life is meant to be lived one day at a time. You get through one day and you enjoy the most of that day and you don't worry too much about tomorrow. Even if it's 10 o'clock at night, you stay present in the moment. Anxiety, some of anxiety is focused too much on keeping things forever, trying to keep your girlfriend forever, trying to keep your dog forever, trying to keep your parent alive forever. Let everything go and enjoy life one day at a time. Never forget it. Never forget to live below your means. Never forget that financial independence is part of life. Living below your means is a higher income than you do expenses. Being mindful of staking out a place in life so that you can fulfill your destiny. Never forget that after all the song and dance, after all the church folks sing, the collection plate comes around in life. Every political party has fundraisers. Money's part of life, not to be worshipped, but to be used as a tool, and to never think that it's not part of the equation. Money is an incentive. It could be used for good or bad, but you need it. So make it and spend less of it. Never forget that good people are a blessing in your life. Acknowledge them. Call them to tell them that they're appreciated. Don't try to chase the hot people, the sexy people, the beautiful people that are never going to like you. But whether they're a good person, bad person, beautiful or ugly, all relationships have their time and they fade. Everything fades. So don't hold on too tight. Never forget it. Don't hold on too tight. When you hold on too tight, you lose that time that you have with someone. Never forget that there's things in life that you have to do that you don't want to do. There's jobs that you have to take. There's working out. There's different things in life you have to do that you don't want to do. So stop trying to convince yourself that you can set up your life where you're never going to have to do things you don't want to do. However, you should consciously make decisions to make your life easier so you can do less of the things you don't want to do and you can do more of the things you want to do. You can use more of your creative gifts. You can do more things you love. That takes conscious effort and planning. It doesn't just happen. Never forget that life requires a plan. If you don't have a plan, someone else has a plan for you, and you're going to be at the bottom of their priority list. Never forget that the strong should not manipulate the weak, but there's some people you can't help. So never let the weak control you, but never try to control the weak. Never make someone else guilt trip you. Guilt trip is a form of manipulation. And whether they have severe issues physically or mentally or emotionally, you do not have to stand for their abuse. Emotional abuse is, I won't say the same thing as physical abuse because there's a difference, but it's abuse. Abuse is self-explanatory. And when people don't get what they want from you, they try to abuse you, manipulate you. Never forget that there's more good people than bad. One bad person can have fake 10 accounts and give 10 thumbs down. But there may be 100 people that watch you, but only 10% of them give the effort to thumbs up. There's more good people than bad. It's just the one bad person is a terrorist. However, the internet has more healthy people, more positive people than bad people. It's just that the bad people make the most noise. Never forget that. Never forget that one small percentage of a person, whether it's on the internet, in a religion, in a culture, they do not define whole group. Most people just don't want to be bothered. So they just let whatever happen until stuff happens too badly, and then people have to get involved. Good to see you from Brazil. Luciano, free to be me, Journey with Jordan. I appreciate you guys. Emoji meme. Appreciate all your support. Luke, positive vibes, yes. Never forget that the worst times in your life will be relationship driven, heartbreak. But never forget that I think you should go through a season of your life where you experience relationships. You know, I think that if you have the opportunity to be in a relationship, I don't think you should always be single. I mean, I think dating is good. You know, I think at a certain time period, though, you have to realize you can't just dabble in a relationship. Companionship is still a relationship, and companionship is still entanglement. However, many people do better in packs than being solo. You can't ask for someone's emotional support and then not be willing to support them as well. Like, I remember I was kind of seeing a girl, but not really seeing her. She was talking to some other guy. And she was very conscious that every time we go on a date or something, or we go out to dinner or something, she would split the bill, because she's like, Sam, I want to be very conscious that, you know, there's no manipulation here. And financially there wasn't. We split everything pretty much half and half. We tried to be very honest. You know, even when people are honest, everyone keeps a little bit to themselves. Everyone has a couple $100 stashed somewhere no one knows. But after a while of, like, you know, seeing this chick on the side, she said, Sam, I got to be careful. Like, I know I'm not financially manipulating you, but I don't want to emotionally manipulate you. You know, emotional manipulation is, you know, someone is more invested in the relationship than you, but you string them along because you like their encouragement. You like their emotional investment in you. But you know that they're investing, or they're more committed to you than you will ever be to them. Never forget that ends in a complete disaster. But never forget you have to experience life. I mean, what would life be if your whole life you masturbated in a sock? You would be like a psychopath that has 10 different profiles. You'd basically just be a recluse that never really, you don't have a greater perspective on life. And so you're going haywire because you're stuck in your own mind. You don't understand what life is really about. And again, never forget that you should have compassion on everyone, but you can't help everyone. There's some drug addicts you can't help. There's some people who are addicted to food you can't help. There's some people with mental issues, severe mental issues, you can't help them. You know, there's a reason that some people have to be institutionalized or locked up in a jail. I don't wish it on someone. I believe in mercy. I believe in grace. But never forget you can't help everyone. Never forget self-care is a full-time job. You should never be bored. If from now on, for the rest of your life, if you ever say, man, what could I do? You could always go for a walk. You should never go more than 3 days without a workout. You could always use your creative gifts. Guys, if I had extra time, I'd be doing extra videos. You know, in these past couple of weeks being in New Jersey, I usually like to upload at least one like regular 5-minute video. And a 5-minute video usually takes 20 minutes at least. And go live once a day. But I just don't have time to do that much creative stuff because I got my full-time job. I got self-care, which is a full-time job, a regular job, and I got to spend time with my mom. I got priorities, guys. Never forget, you have to have priorities. Priorities are what matters to you most, and what your energy, where your energy goes, and in what order. That's what priorities are. Where your energy goes and in what order. I'll never forget the Whitney Houston funeral. That's what basically the pastor said. You got to focus on what your priorities are. Your priorities shouldn't be Bobby Brown. Your priorities should be self-care first. Whitney Houston should do self-care first. But never forget, there's some people that can't exercise self-care. My mom, she's one of the most loving women I've met. But she just can't take care of herself. She doesn't eat well. She can't help herself. I have family members that were strung out on drugs. There's some people that aren't as smart as you. I remember Oprah Winfrey saying that. Not everyone is as smart as you. Not everyone can do what you can do. Not that you're better than everyone, but there's some people that can't take care of themselves. Does that mean you have to take care of them? Not necessarily, but it's just an observation. As an adult, never forget that the buck stops with you. Never forget that you can't say you want to be independent, but yet no one wants to help you. Or, a lot of people in life, they claim they have a disability, but yet they also claim that they can have full independence. You can't have both. If you have a disability, you're basically saying there's something about you that you cannot function properly. So then you're saying there's a limitation. Now, there may be a real limitation, but you have to understand what that is. And then you have to say, look, you don't have full independence. It's just like I said with a relationship. You can't have a relationship and say you're fully independent. Impossible. A relationship is you dividing your time, your emotions, your money, and everything else. And if you don't believe me, check out The Divorce Lawyer. Everything is split in half. You can't say you want to live on the road because you don't want rent and you don't want a mortgage, but yet you also want air conditioning, heating. You want the luxuries of running water. You don't want to go deal with psychopaths and Planet Fitness all the time. You're getting tired of Starbucks. You can't have it both ways. Bob Wells, for me, finally did one video I really approved of. It's not a fairy tale, living on the road. I liked that video. I thought I did a good job. For me, living on the road still outweighs the cons, especially at my age and my health. But never forget, everything has a price. Everything has a counterbalance. Everything has a season. Never forget that sometimes you have to forget. I remember listening to an interview of a football player, a cornerback. A cornerback is someone who guards the wide receiver. And it might have been Deion Sanders. I don't remember. But I know that he was basically saying, it's the first time I heard this when I was like, a teenager or something. He said, the interviewer asked him, he goes, what do you do to have such a superstar mindset and be able to deal with, like letting the opposing player score a touchdown on you? How do you pick yourself back up? He goes, you got to have a short memory. You got to put your failures behind you quick and get ready for the next play. That's how life is. Never forget it. Should you remember tragedies and different things? Yeah, there's lessons in tragedies. There's lessons in life. There's things that shouldn't be forgotten. But there's also just a season for everything. Time to move on. Time to put it behind you. Never forget that everyone has a sad story. Some people more sad than others. But I think when you think you're the only person that has a sad story, I think that your mindset is a dwelling mindset, not a moving forward mindset. Never forget these things in life. I'm playing off words because today is 9/11, September 9th. And people remember 9/11, the terrorist attacks in New York. There's been many tragedies in human histories that we should all remember in all different walks of life and all different parts of the world. But, I like to try to think about today what I never forget. And try not to be too wise. I like wisdom. I like being insightful. I like sharing it with you. But I don't mind screw life anymore. There was a season of my 20s, later 20s, I tried to read every book. I tried to understand philosophy very deep. I tried to understand life, and it helped me. There's definitely a time in life where you have to get intense and gather input and learn. But then you have to realize, look, man, just enjoy it. Okay, it's not that, everything isn't that deep. Everything isn't a conspiracy. And even if it is, if everything is a conspiracy, guess what, guys? Just enjoy it, because there's not much you can do about, many things in life. So enjoy what you can control. Never forget that all you can do in life is your best. For some people, it's wonderful. For some people, they hate you no matter what. You can get in the best shape of your life. There's certain people that are just never going to like you, physically or emotionally or whatever way. So don't spend time on focusing on your insecurities. Play to your strengths. Accentuate the positive things in your body and your mind and in your being. Like I see some ugly girls that are real big, but they accentuate their breasts. They got maybe good breasts. I mean, a lot of it's fat. It's not really breast, but they accentuate. They wear push-up bras. They flash their breasts. They're trying to, I don't know, focus on the positive. Like they're trying to get away from the fact that they're butt ugly and nasty. And no disrespect to all the butt ugly, nasty girls out there, because guys, I'm not that, there's plenty of guys hotter than me. But I'm making the point while being playful that, look, don't focus. I got a wide ass. Do I focus on that? No, I try to focus on my shoulders. See, I got a wide ass, but my shoulders and my biceps look good. Okay. So am I going to do a live feed where I show you my ass? No. I'm like Kim Kardashian. I make sure my camera crew focus on what positive I have. Like that's I heard Kim Kardashian, she has the camera crew only put angles of her body that are positive. You have to focus on the positive, guys, because look, you can put the camera on your wide ass or your ugly face or whatever all day long. And look, just embrace the fact that, look, you're ugly or you're wide or whatever you are, but you're still beautiful. Why? Because, look, never forget that everyone's nasty at the end of the day. Everyone's going to die. So, and if you're always focused on your insecurities, you'll never use your creative gifts. You'll never put yourself out there. You'll never do anything in life. You'll never apply for a job. And all the people that are negative will revel. They'll celebrate for the fact that we got someone else to give up on their dreams, and now we don't have to feel bad about ourselves. Every time you succeed, you're a threat to everyone else who makes excuses and is just a negative, nasty person. But again, what? There's more positive than negative. Negative people just make more energy, more noise. And those are my thoughts tonight on things you should never forget. Some things I repeat. And some people that watch me from the beginning, they like that. But some people say, look, I'm tired of hearing that. But guys, there's a thing that says most things in life are not really brand new. There's nothing new under the sun, actually. There's a scripture that says you should meditate on things that are good and true. And that really doesn't change once you figure it out. Like, going to the gym doesn't change. It's the same thing, right? But you should still do it every day, repeat it every day because it's healthy. Eating certain healthy food is still good. Now, once in a while, you may change it up, but there's certain things that you should repeat, that you should do to center your mind, to center your focus. It's boring. That's why all the psychopaths like clickbait. They'll watch something that has no meaning to them, but it's whatever. For me, it doesn't have meaning. Maybe to them, it's enjoy, but it really is. It's just like, it's nothing. But it's like new, it's exciting, it's shiny, and like, it's like a fly to a light, a moth to a light. It grabs their primitive attention. But in life, you have to, focus for you. Everything you do in life should be focused on, what do I need to do to be my best self? Because when you're your best self, you're best to society. And for me, I have to focus on the things I just said, never forget. Why? Because it's what keeps me going forward and keeps my mind focused. Most of your day is doing stuff you don't want to do, and there's a 10 or 20% of the day that's really fun and creative. Out of 24 hours in a day, the average human sleeps 6-8 hours a day. Okay. You're going to spend a couple hours of the day commuting or in your car. You're going to spend another 8 hours working for most people. And then you're going to spend another couple hours doing, again, the gym, the laundry, showering. And so really most of the day is filled up doing stuff that is not like thrill seeking. It's not, the 5-minute highlight reel that you may see on a social media clip that took weeks to produce. Real life is very much daily habits that, but once embraced, you just make the most of. Living mobile has allowed me to have a little more excitement in life because it's not as mundane. Everything's a little bit different, but it's a little bit more challenging too. But those are my thoughts tonight. And I appreciate it if you like those thoughts. If you share similar ones, you click the thumbs up button, share the video. And now we'll read all live comments. I love to drive. Hey, Sam. Hey, I love to drive. I didn't see you there. Shout out to my only patron. I love you. I love to drive. How you doing, Yvette? How's your journey? How's the health? What's the newest thing in your life? Luke, Sam, my brother, what's going on? Greetings from Orlando. You're in Florida? Let me take a hydration break. Hold on a second. You're in Florida, man. We're having the best time ever. Did a 10-day vacation. It's been unbelievable. Well, I'm happy for you. Luke, miss you, homie. Well, I miss you too, but you just keep living your life. Live your best life and self-care to max. Never forget it. Good job, man. Celebration emoji. Never forget, Luke's a young man with a young girlfriend, and life's special. You should never, take that special time away from him. Enjoy it to the max, man. Emoji meme. Hey, emoji meme. Good evening, Sam. Good evening to you. With the new sexy profile picture, you're going to have all the psychopaths stalking you. And what I can tell you is when you got a psychopath stalking you, you got to put the restraining order in all caps. But emoji meme, you keep doing you. Because life ain't worth living if you can't share yourself. If you can't upload a sexy picture of yourself. Because look, guys, life is meant to be lived, not to be hidden. Dream with Jordan, 2 thumbs up, thank you. Free to be me. Below your means for life. It is true. Look, guys, keep it as simple as possible. It's boring, it's stupid, and once in a while you should blow money. You want to risk a little bit of money, fine. You want to play with a little bit of money, fine. But you want to have a mindset of live below your means. Higher income than expenses. Why? Because you can control your life more. And when you can control your life more, look, you can enjoy your life more, period. Keep it simple as possible. You don't need much stuff. Very true. Good job. Luciano, Sam, your videos are very inspiring. Well, I appreciate that. Appreciate you keeping it real. I'm just trying to do the best I can. I appreciate your positive comment. Maria, hello from Brazil. Well, shout out to all my Brazilians out there laughing. I'm not mad at that. Shout out to South America. And I love and respect to Brazil, man. Layla, adult group home, help kids, Venice, Florida. So home care, adulthood life. Well, Lila, I think you pretty much nailed it. There's some good group homes. There's some bad ones. There's some hood ones. Yeah, it's all part of life, but just do your best. Whatever situation you're in life, just make the most of it and try to make it as best as possible. And if it really is bad, do your best to get the hell out of Dodge, safely and responsibly. But Lila, you have a positive attitude, and I appreciate you. Tennis unlocked. You're the man, Sam. Well, I appreciate the positive comment. Thank you. Lila, group home, Venice, Florida living. I'm not mad at you. I love you, Lila. I love Arizona. Hey, Sam. I've been in relationships, and nowadays I prefer a sock because less stress. Hey, guys, a sock is never going to scream sexual assault. That's truth. So what I can tell you is this. Not that I've ever been charged with that, but what I can tell you is, look, it's just less drama, okay? So the sock is never going to complain. It's never going to be, emotionally upset. It's never going to ask for money. It's never going to get pissed at you. But look, you're never going to experience life. But once you've experienced life, then I think you should just get a sock. But everyone should do whatever they want. This is my opinion. And I love Arizona's opinion. Emoji meme. I worked out this morning, then went to the spa for an hour. Self-care to the max. Yeah, self-care is so important. Well, damn it. I remember someone said to me, a female said to me, she goes, Sam, I'm getting my hair done and my nails done. And I used to think it was frivolous, and sometimes it is. But for her, how she kind of explained it, she goes, Sam, for a woman, that's very important, self-care. And I can understand that. As I get older, I can understand that. And that's how I always tell, all you psychopath guys out there who are working out in Planet Fitness, the best thing you can do is stay clean. A woman wants a clean man. If you're not clean, not good. Now, I really don't care because I don't want a woman. But if you did want to get into the game, because dating's a game, guys, and that's what makes it fun. It's a challenge. It's like, if dating wasn't challenging, if relationships weren't challenging, then it'd be boring as hell. And people don't like boring. So that's why I always tell you, you can't just be friends. You have to have a level of passion, a level of banter, a level of engagement, intriguement. Now, but that's a lot of work, guys. And for me, it's not enough upside. Because to me, I looked at it and I played the game for a while, and I'm very thankful for all the beautiful women that were in my life. But it's not, but for me, I got no upside. You say, Sam, how don't you have upside? All right, so let's just say I get into a relationship and it goes great. What's next? A committed relationship? You know, even if we love each other our entire life, one of us are going to die before the other. You know, then we're going to have to get married. Then we're going to have kids. I don't want any of that. I don't even want to go on a road trip with someone and they say, look, Sam, can you pull over because I have to go to the bathroom? What? That's an emotional burden on me. I don't want to wait for someone else at the rest stop. That's just me. I got no upside in a relationship, guys. Now, look, you know, there's something to be said for physical contact and for a level of emotional connection. But I'll supplement it with YouTube and masturbating in a sock. That's true. Luke, Sam, have you thought any more about buying an RV? Yes, I look daily, but they're too expensive in New Jersey and they don't have enough inventory. So I'd have to go back down to Florida. In Florida, a couple of those Corrados sold. I think there's only one or two left. And I'm still not 100% sold, even though I'm pretty close. I think about how I'm moving out. I don't know if there's enough upside versus the downside, but I am still seriously considering it. Just going to settle with the Jeep Renegade for the next year or so. I may just settle and keep it simple based on my age and where I'm at and how I'm moving. But I won't spend, if I do just keep the Jeep, I'm not going to spend the summer in Florida next year. I'll come up north again a little bit quicker, even though it gets hot up here. I'm not going to kill myself at this point in my journey. So it's too hot without an air conditioning, or I'd have to rig up some type of air conditioning in the Jeep Renegade. But we'll see. I'm monitoring it as we go. Luke, you still got the Prius on your mind? The Prius is still on my mind, but again, you'd have to idle the car pretty much throughout the night to run the AC. So I don't know if that's not enough upside to buy a new car to $25,000 or $30,000. I just about got the Jeep Renegade paid off, so I'm not gonna do that. So, but the Prius is still on my radar if the Jeep fails, and the RV is still on my radar. Right now, I don't have enough incentive to make a serious decision, so I'm just monitoring it and see from there. Luke, I'll tell you what, there's nothing like having an economy car, especially during the trip I took. Look, guys, yeah, the cheapest way to travel is a car or van. The most comfortable way to live on the road is an RV. The cheapest way to travel and the most fun is a car or van. The most comfortable way to live, not just to travel, but to live on the road, is an RV. So you have to figure out, are you going to be living full time, etc. So that's the difference. Okay. So, and I did see too, like in California, they're passing a law for the gig economy, people who do Uber, DoorDash, etc., that they're going to put some laws in place, like and almost unionize it. And California is also putting some laws into place to allow college athletes to be able to use their name and not just have the college teams be able to use their name without profiting. So I like some of that I saw. Kristen, hey Sam, hey Kristen, I read your comment. So you're basically going to be like a mobile nurse. And I have met a couple women on YouTube, one from California that's like a mobile nurse. They're in the nursing field. I actually saw today, I wanted to do a video, but I didn't want to disrespect their personal space. A person had a car of a home care companionship service. And that's big business, guys, especially as the baby boomers are retired and living that senior life. You know, like you don't have to, I remember my sister dropped out of nursing because she failed a couple exams using needles. But guys, there's so much more to nursing than needles. Just being a companion for older people is big money. Guys, if you wanted to start a business, and even if like some of you psychopaths that, say you can't do much, guys, if you could just be a companion to a senior citizen for a couple hours a day, that's big money, man. Or it's decent money. And it's something that most people can do. There's a lot of people out there that are very compassionate, but only for a limited period of time. So if that's you, Just be a home care taker, a caretaker. You know, again, flexible hours. You can do it from anywhere. You don't need much experience. I mean, you're going to need some type of resume, but certainly if you have some type of nursing credentials and some type of other credentials, that's, to me, that's a money bag emoji, and that's a win. So, Kristen, I read your comment. I see you're going to basically hit full time on the road. I think you're in your 40s. So you're a middle-aged woman. Now, if you're above 60, you're a senior citizen, period. Average life expectancy is 80. Okay. So I think if you're middle age, I think give it a shot. If you're healthy and if you've done the planning and the research, give it a shot. I think if you're a senior citizen, you have to be mindful living on the road isn't necessarily the best decision. But you should do whatever you want, your life, and those are my thoughts. Good job, Kristen. I'm pulling for you. Tony, what's up, brother? Sam, how's it going, brother? I'm doing the best I can, and I'm thankful for today. Never forget, life is meant to be lived one day at a time. How are you, man? Tony? That interview was Deion. Was it Deion Sanders? I saw it when I was a young teenager. Yeah, he run a 4.27 on the 40-yard dash. I watched a YouTube clip of that the other day. Thank you, Tony. Sam, I had an interview today about, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, something Rasani at a club in Baltimore. I hope I get it. I hope you get it too. Prayer emoji. It would be nice to play in one place for a while instead of traveling. Yep. See, Tony, good comment. He's been on the road. He travels. He does the creative arts. He uses his saxophone. Music is art. And so, look, traveling does wear on you. But I do think, again, for all my nomads out there, using the 1,000 trails, which I've been using and staying at campgrounds and supplementing it with staying in one area for a couple of days or a couple of weeks will help make it sustainable. But it's still demanding. Traveling is demanding. I'll never forget that movie. I don't know if it was The Lone Ranger or some type of Western movie. And the guy said to his dog was old. He goes, I love you, like, I don't know what the dog's name was. Let's just call the dog Lassie. They go, I love you, Lassie, but you're too old to hit the road. I know you want to go, but it wouldn't be good for you. So, the road, it's not for everyone. I don't want to discourage anyone, but just be mindful. Good job, Tony. Dennis, never forget, while all of us are on a decline to our life expectancy, our productive lifespan is packed into right around 40 to 50 years. That's a probably interesting comment there. It goes by fast. I agree with that. Thank God. Be your own timekeeper. Excellent comment, Dennis. Always excellent comment. Never forget to manage your time. That's a very insightful comment, as always. On average, the most productive human hours of the day are 8 a.m. to noon. 8 a.m. to noon are the most productive hours of a human's day. And from ages 25 to 55 are the prime years of your working career. And, those are pretty much some statistics. There's more to life than just those statistics, but those are the power punches of some serious things. That's true. Tony laughing. Residency. Damn typo. That's right, brother. I'm bad with spelling too. Marin, 3 palm trees, 3 hearts, a prayer, 3 hearts, palm trees, and then like a smiley with some short Donald Trump hands. Thank you, Marin. I love you. Layla, living adult group home. People, my future friends. So what can you do? Maybe living spends group home. Well, start 2020 this year. Allowance, home insurance, Venice, Florida. Damn it, Lila. It sounds like you're going to focus on pushing forward this year in whatever capacity you best can. So I like that you're a forward-thinking person and that you're trying to stay positive. I love you and I respect you. Keep pushing forward. Kristen, thanks for the kind words, Sam. I'm pulling for you, Kristen. A thumbs up emoji. I love to drive. Life is good. You're positive. I am down 65 pounds. Good job. And I'm loving Uber. Well, damn it, I love to drive, a.k.a. You may need to move to California because they're about to pass some laws where they may get more money. But I know you love to drive, and I know you're a positive person. And I'm pulling for you. You've been nothing but positive to me. Health and self-care first. And never forget, Yvette, a.k.a. I love to drive, and everyone. Never let anyone emotionally manipulate you. So at any time, if you think me or someone else or anything is no longer part of your best life, move on with your life. Never forget, Yvette and everyone in this live feed, you don't owe anyone anything. Do what you need to do for you. Now, that being said, look, we're all connected to each other in some way. So I don't want to say like just screw everyone. But I think it's a healthier mind when you are focused on whatever you need to do for you. And I think that helps you to be a better person in society in some way. So I love to drive. It sounds like you're pushing forward. Keep going forward. Look, weight struggles are always going to be there. Weight's going to fluctuate. So I would say to not just focus on the pounds, but just try to build a sustainable, healthy lifestyle with a level of activity, majority of it plant-based. Stay away from fast food as much as you can, and stay away from the sweet tea. The sweet tea got my mom, man. Sweet tea got my mom retaining a lot of water in her ankles and a damn sugary soda. But she loves it. And I'm not mad at her. I made my mom a chocolate chip mint ice cream Sunday tonight. Why? Because that's what she wants. I mean, what am I going to do? Tell a 70-some-year-old woman not to have chocolate chip mint ice cream? I ain't going to do that. So, hold on. Let me say this. I'm going to block someone, and I already got blocked in my filter. They're out of here. But just remember to stay positive, and I love to drive. You're a blessing to me. Journey with Jordan. Congrats, I love to drive. Good job, Journey. That is awesome. I agree. I bet you have 4.97 ratings too. Good job, Tony. Hey, Sam. I have a question. Go ahead, brother. How do you keep the sun out of your car? Damn van is too hot. Need a solution. No easy answer for that. I don't spend much time in my car. I spend most of my time outside my car. In Starbucks, Planet Fitness, and then when I do walk, it's by the beach and it's a breeze. But then I need to supplement it by going back in Starbucks or some type of restaurant to get air conditioning. Because look, yeah, it wears on you. The sun will beat you up. That's true. Tony, I have an AC and the cup holder fan, but that sun is heating the hell out of the seats. Yeah. Look, even with your air conditioning on in your car is like a tin cup, man. And that thing gets hot. And so, yeah, you don't want to spend most of your time in your car. That's true. Journey with Jordan. AB5. What's that mean? Is going to lower driver earnings. Oh, is that Uber ratings? Is that what you got? You guys are talking big Uber talk? And take away all the flexibility out of our gig. Well, I don't know much about it, and I would say that's probably a fair debate. It's probably a fair debate to have, because part of the gig economy, which is attractive, which I love doing DoorDash, is the flexibility and independence. So part of the negative when you unionize or when you get the government involved with a level of regulation is, yeah, it can take away some flexibility. So I can understand the debate, and I think it's a good debate to have. Now, again, unions bless you, where I think it takes care of the average person. But I also think it may stunt the exceptional person. So I can understand the debate. I can understand both sides. Lila, I am doing a project, Christmas light show. You're working hard. Big display. It's a hobby. Well, guys, never forget that your hobbies and your creative way to express yourself is a blessing. And it gets you excited about life. It gets your juices flowing. So, Lila, keep doing you. I'm very proud of you. Dennis, at Tony, start with the idea that the best you can expect without AC or heater is ambient temperature. Okay. Tony, sweet tea is not good for you yet. I drink early gray hot with 1 sugar and 1 lime. 1 lemon. Well, that's good. I love to drive has a high rating. Well, she damn right she's on point. That's that Uber rating. Now, DoorDash almost got me in the beginning. I had one psychopath. Well, it was my fault. I'm not going to lie. It's probably my fault. I didn't understand it. I forgot his drink at El Loco Polo. Some spot in Florida. It's like a fast food Mexican spot or Spanish spot. El Loco Polo? Something like that. Tropical Loco Polo or something like that. I forgot his drink, but I didn't see the drink because the way it came up on the order was very confusing. And I was like one of my first deliveries, and the guy gave me like a 0 rating. It totally screwed up my ratings. It took me about a month to get my ratings back up to par. So that's the issue. But that's going to happen once in a while. You're going to get a bad rating. But overall, over time, the more deliveries you do, you're going to average out to have a high rating if you're a good person or a good driver. And I love to drive is banging it out, making that money bag emoji. I'm not mad at that. Journey with Jordan, AB5 is the California gig. Workers bill you were talking about. Yep. And there's also, like I say, a college athlete bill that's getting passed there. But look, that people bash California, these liberal laws, but again, they have some of the best GDP and best job opportunities in the entire country. Their housing is high, but their housing is high because there's a lot of great jobs with great pay. And look, no one's going to leave California unless they have a huge earthquake and it falls into the ocean, because it's got great weather, it's got great jobs, and even if it has high gas and high regulation, guys, it's working because it's one of the best economic drivers in our entire country. You would rather, build your career in California than in Tennessee. So Tennessee has no regulation. No, but unless you take a bunch of money that you made in California and move to Tennessee, what are you going to do? What are you going to do in Tennessee? Not easy. You got to wait for Dave Ramsey to order a DoorDash from Buffalo Hot Wings before you can get paid. In California, they're DoorDashing out the door. Why? And Ubering out the door because there's money. People are making $100,000 plus a year. So they're like, shit, I'll go Uber here, I'll Uber there. In Tennessee, they're counting their nickels. They're not going to Uber everywhere. So that's the give and take of life. No one answer, but that's why we have 50 states to choose from. If you don't like California, move to Tennessee. If you don't like New Jersey, move to Florida. Guys, we're blessed in America. If you don't like something, just move to a different area. Enjoy that area. Tony? Dennis, I have AC, but it doesn't help when it's inside the van at 80 degrees. You never forget that. That's the thing. If you live in your vehicle, if you're a full-time nomad, you don't have any rent or mortgage. But there's a level of the weather elements that you're always going to have to deal with. It never goes away. So that's true. Good comment, Tony. Oh, yeah, El Polo Loco. That was it. They have those here in Maryland, too, do they? I didn't know that. Joel says, Polo Norte? I don't think it was that one. That's a Cuban restaurant? Okay. No, I think it was the one that Tony said, El Polo Loco. Thank you, Joel. Dennis? I have draped a bright white blanket over the top of my car, Bob Wells style. Knocks the inside temp down to 8 to 10 degrees. Well, you can do that if you're boondocking in the middle of Arizona. If you're in downtown Miami, you ain't draping no fucking tarp over your van, man, because it's not going to happen. Or if you're like, if you're in Newark, New Jersey, you ain't doing that. So it all depends on where you're at, if you could do something like that. Richard, Sam, you're the man. Well, thank you, brother. Love the positive vibes. Well, thank you, Richard, man. You've been positive to me, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Let's take a hydration break. Thank you, Richard. That was nice of you, man. Journey with Jordan? Yeah, you're never going to please everyone. That's true. That's a good comment. No matter what you do. Very true. A low rating will happen eventually. Yep, it's part of life, guys. We all fail. And sometimes it's our fault. Sometimes it's not. Life isn't always fair. But what should you do? You should just get back up, put one foot in front of the other, and answer the next Uber call. Answer the next DoorDash call. Show up to your job the next day when your boss is mad. Why? Because don't screw up your money. Now, once in a while, you got to take a break because you got to reset your life and you got to refocus. But, just keep showing up. Tony? Oh, laughing Joel. Though he was talking about the chain restaurant. Yeah, I was talking about the chain restaurant. Tony? Dennis, I might try that. This heat isn't helping. It's bending my knees for my sacks. I have to keep them in my house. Yeah, when you're hot and you're sweaty and you're feeling irritated, you're not your best creative self because your mind is occupied. There's a lot to be said for a climate-controlled environment. Now, I like fresh air, but when it's very hot and when it's very cold, those extreme temperatures will mess with your well-being. You need the moderate temperature somewhat, and again, that's why California is so attractive, because it's got the most mild, sunny weather in the entire country. And that's a big reason, again, why people live there. That's why we got the most nomads, because the environment is very much suitable for not too much air conditioning or heating. Journey with Jordan? That's true. And Dave Ramsey isn't going to tip. Hell no, man. He's a stingy capitalist. Yeah, that's true. He'll give you a free pass though to Financial Peace University. I ain't mad at him. Julia, Polo Tropical, something like that. Like I think it was El Polo Loco, something like that. Thank you, Julia. Tomasco. When Deion Sanders gets a bad DoorDash rating, he relies on short memory. Good job. To quickly move on to the next play. Yeah, that's true. That's a good job, Tony. I tip everyone. Why? Because I get paid for a gig sometimes, get tips. I don't get them. I give them to staff. Tony, man, you're a positive person, man. I appreciate you. Tony, Tomaski, Deion has a chef. Come on now. Yeah, Deion. Well, Deion's loaded now, man. Dennis, last comment at Tony. Glass is the culprit. It transfers all incident heat. Damn it, Dennis, you're on it, man. I think someone should make outside see-through shades. That'll probably cost more money though. But they'd have to secure to get or get ripped off. Yeah, that's true. Good comment, Ivan. Hey Sam, do you still do DoorDash for side money? No. I was just burning myself out. It was just too much. So my main job and YouTube as my main preferable side hustle is good enough. Like I said, when I did DoorDash, I wanted to do it for a month to gather enough data to see how much it was I can make and if it was worth it. You make about $10 to $15 an hour on average. And sometimes that's after you deduct expenses. Sometimes that's before. So it's just not worth it because I don't need it. If I needed it, I would do it. And that's why I wanted to have it in my back pocket in case I ever needed to do it. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. But then also it was a burden and it's dangerous to drive. So it has its negatives. And it has a cap. Tony. Dennis, I don't care what I have to pay. I'd gladly pay for the coolness leather seats in the summer suck. I understand that. All right, guys. I gave it. Ivan. Yeah. Sounds like it's not worth it. Thanks for letting me know, bro. It's worth it if you got nothing else going on. It's worth it if you're already not like, I'm already doing YouTube. So YouTube, I get that's what I pretty much get, $10 to $15 per hour, depending on the month, depending how many views, depending on how many super chats. So if I'm already doing a main job that I work 40 hours a week, and I'm already doing YouTube, which I do prefer over DoorDash, I don't need a third one. So, but it's worth it. Maybe if you don't have a second side hustle, or maybe if you're down financially, if you're in debt and if you don't have money coming in, it's worth it. So if you are not making enough money to cover your expenses, you're not living below your means, and that means it doesn't matter if you want to do it or not. You should do it to get ahead of the game, but everyone should do what they want. I'm not counting anyone's money. I'm just trying to share my mindset. Rob. Hey, Sam. How do you stay cool and warm? You don't. You live a primitive life. So you don't pay rent. You don't pay a mortgage. But when it's hot, it's hot. And when it's cold, it's cold. I spent the winter in New Jersey's and the summers in Florida. And there's sacrifice. So it's not a fairy tale life. Okay, Bob Wells did a good job on that. And so look, if you don't want to sacrifice, if you don't want to feel discomfort, stay in an apartment, room, or house. Because you're not going to bring your house with you in your car. There's trade-offs in life. And so you have to honestly say that, or else, you're lying to yourself. So that's my best way to answer it. Dennis, he gave up underwear. Well, that helped a little bit. Tony, Sam, is there a specific sunblock you use? Good question. I need something. Head's cracking. Yes, I do. I'll show you that right now, brother. I always keep my sunblock right next to the 9mm. I'm just playing. Don't get upset. Well, maybe you'll see. And right next to the heat. This is what I use, brother. Coppertone 30 SPF. All right? Always on standby. Okay? Right next to the stash. This is what I use. Use the Amazon link, brother, if you're going to order 100 of these. All right? Thank you. Tony, or peeling, should I say? Yep. Well, hey, guys, got to protect myself, but I'm all about keep the peace. We don't want any problems with anyone. All right, guys. So what I could tell you is this. I did the best we could. Stay safe. Be safe. I just tried to share some things I try not to ever forget. But life constantly changes. So, everyone has their own way to live life. Just do you. Hey, brother, if I use that link, can I buy anything? You can buy anything, brother. Dildos, sunblock, 9mm Glock. You can buy anything, man. But I only recommend positive things. Don't do anything to hurt anyone. But thank you, brother. I love you, Tony. I love everyone, guys. Stay positive. Do your thing. Peace and love.